Welcome to the Anticipate podcast. This is the third episode in a series about Saudi's transformation. I'm your host, Tariq Shehabaddin, and today we will explore how the private sector plays a major role in helping Saudi shape its present and future using capable local talents. In addition, we will delve into how WSP's graduate program helps numerous Saudis kickstart their careers while offering them exciting pathways for growth. As we traverse these narratives, I sat down with a group of exceptional WSP Saudi engineers, capturing their reflections on the path they've embarked upon. I will kickstart our talk today by speaking to Ashley Newman, Senior Career and Learning Advisor at WSP in the Middle East. Ashley, welcome to this episode of the Anticipate podcast. The engineering field is constantly evolving. Therefore, building Saudi engineers and leaders for the future is a dynamic objective. What skill set do Saudi engineers need for the future?
We live in a fast-paced world, and sometimes preparing for the future can be difficult. So there's a need to be open-minded, the ability to accept that there's change, adapting to the new surroundings, and making sure that the focus is on you and your professional development. Another important note, I would say, is to stop and really focus on what you want to achieve, what direction you want to go in. Focusing on your growth and development within your organization is something that can be really helpful to know exactly where it is that you're planning to go.
That's great. So, what is it that we do as WSP to support Saudi's nationalization objectives and provide the right opportunities for building local engineering expertise and capacities?
We provide new opportunities that embrace our people. So we create a safe space for them to be able to feel like they're supported. We make sure that the focus is around what it is they want to do and how we can truly build on each individual person. So when it's to do with training, what is it that that person wants and how can we really support that? Our graduate program that we had created 2 years ago, it not only focuses on those day-to-day technical skills that they would learn on the projects or from their managers, but we also focus around personal effectiveness, how to behave in an organization, how to grow, how to focus on your development. We give them the exposure to the whole business rather than just one project. They're able to go and experience multiple teams, different project directors' way of leading, different teams, the way that they work, the dynamic of that team. We embrace that there are differences between one person and another, and that's okay. And we focus on helping them and supporting them grow and develop as an individual.
So, what would you say if you wanted to direct a message to Saudi graduates?
I would say make sure that you are able to take the risks. Don't hesitate on putting your hand up to say, I'd like to try something new. Allow yourself to embrace what it's like to be a graduate, someone who is just come out of university and is new into the field. Make sure that you ask the questions and you do use the people that are around you and the knowledge that they have, but don't be scared to put your hand up to say, actually, I think it should be done in a different way. There's a lot of learning around it just in general. There is a lot of learning that can be done from both sides, and that could be the team that you're working with and on your own learning journey that you experience. So focus on that development and that growth and really embrace the beginning of your career.
Most of our Saudi talents work and lead projects where our clients contribute significantly to opening new opportunities for them. I'm pleased to be joined by Jafar Al-Sinan, Client Director at WSP in the Middle East. Jafar, thank you for joining this episode.
Thanks, Tariq. I'm pleased to be in this podcast.
So, how can private companies collaborate with the public sector to offer new learning and career opportunities for Saudis?
Yeah, this is really great questions. So let's go and talk about what we have in WSP. We are proud to be supporting the statement of our Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, that Saudi's youngs are the future leaders for the kingdom. Since launching our accelerated graduate development program in 2021, our clients have been a big part of this journey to help us develop the future generations. Through the Fast Track program, we give our grads the opportunity to get global experience and mentoring and skills development on the in some of the kingdom's most of iconic projects. So from day one in our mid-senior level, Saudis are also given the opportunity to pursue roles that are aligned with their development journeys.
Saudi engineers are at a forefront of the current transformation. To explore more about this topic, I asked Saad Al-Qahtani, our assistant project manager, about his experience with WSP as a change maker and the opportunities that he encountered in his career so far. Saad, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Tariq. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure. With the transformation of Saudi Arabia, there comes a increase in the mega and giga projects that aim to shape the Saudi well-being and the economy. So the motor that drives this, I believe, in my opinion, is definitely the young, talented Saudi engineers. Their background with the culture and heritage and their exposure to advancement of new technology and systems, it definitely comes like a powerful force that leads the way to a bright future. For me, I joined WSP's graduate program and had an amazing opportunity to get started with this right exposure and to acquire the hands-on experience. So since I joined WSP, I've worked on 4 different projects for prominent clients, including Riyadh Airport Company, Diriyah Gate Development Authority, Red Sea Global, and King Salman Park Foundation. The program fast tracks graduate engineers' upskilling and prepares them to become changemakers, with the main focus to serve the communities in the best possible way. So during the program, I've also worked with both experienced and graduate engineers, and I'm very proud of my fellow countrymen and women who have come a long way to help the kingdom in what is truly a crucial and critical stage that will determine the success and future of the country.
Thank you, Saad. It is really great to hear that you have had a positive experience being part of WSP's graduate program, but I'm sure there were some challenges along the way. What do you think are the main ones that might typically face a graduate engineer?
Of course, as perfect as it may sound, I sometimes ran into difficult moments. I sometimes felt lost, maybe because I did not have a clear role or responsibility in the projects I was assigned to. However, I realized later that that was the whole point. This program is about exploring and finding yourself, pushing yourself to exceed your boundaries and to learn new things.
I like your answer, since I can relate to that as well. But being exposed to some of the top projects in Saudi, how do you imagine 2030 and what do you envision would happen beyond this milestone?
I think 2030 will be an exciting time for us as engineers and project managers. There are several mega projects that will be partially complete, and we will definitely start to see the fruit of our work. So I'm personally looking forward to 2030 myself. I think once these mega projects are handed over, which obviously will happen beyond 2030, they will enable our economy to thrive and become more resilient. They will also enable our society to thrive. However, for me, it all starts with us, the engineers and creative minds who are building and creating the country for the Saudi communities.
One of the points that Saad raised is project rotation, which allowed him to work on 4 different projects within a small period of time. I'm glad to have with me Khalid Al-Atabi, one of the WSP changemakers in Saudi. Khalid, in your opinion, how was project rotation helped you at the start of your employment with WSP?
Thank you, Tariq. It's my pleasure to be on the podcast. Generally speaking, anyone, regardless of their discipline, would need help and guidance from the seniors and the mentors, especially in the early years. This because you acquired and absorbed the basic concepts and the skills in these years, and these are the building blocks that are going to help you grow wherever your career path is heading. These concepts and skills also help you to develop the mindset and the mentality that you need in your specific discipline. Rotation between different projects was a great chance for me to live the experience and have the feeling of working in different stages of the project life cycle in different sectors. Construction and engineering are massive fields, and it takes years for the engineers to have the hands-on experience they need, especially that they might be working within one sector or one project phase whether it be planning, design, construction, or operation and maintenance. Being a part of WSP graduate program was a great opportunity for me to work in different projects that have been at different stages and serving different sectors. Working within a project in concept design, for example, makes you see things from high level perspective. But then as you move to other projects or phases where you start to see different technical challenges and perhaps acquire deeper understanding of the projects. Most importantly, exposure to different projects has a positive impact on your way of thinking as it helps you to develop the engineering mindset that you need, which is deeply rooted in decision making and solving problem. Also, another important advantage of the project rotation for new graduates that makes them aware of their strengths and weaknesses and the options available to them so they can make informed decision and take ownership of their career path. This means that the program helps graduates in understanding what they are good at and how to leverage their strengths and address their weaknesses.
So, I know that you have transitioned from the graduate program to a project. What advice would you give to those who are considering WSP's graduate program?
Actually, my advice for anyone considering the WSP graduate program would be definitely join it. Take the full advantage of all resources that are available. The project-based learning approach adopted within this program will definitely help you to gain a wealth of practical knowledge and the skills that are essential for your career success.
Networking is a major advantage for graduates when they join WSP, a company that has more than 60,000 experts worldwide. It can provide them with the mentorship and support they need to transition from the graduate program to their new roles. To explore this more, I'm happy to have Miznan Bahri, electrical engineer at WSP in the Middle East. Miznan, it is a pleasure to have you on the podcast. So, I know that you have been part of our graduate program. How did you find the transition from the program to your current role?
Thank you, Tariq. Pleasure is all mine. I can say the transition was a smooth one for me, especially because of the experience I gained from my previous rotations as a graduate. With the help of my team, I was able to shadow others and get feedback on how well I did, as well as how I can better myself in the future. And part of that was by supporting me with my professional development through attending training sessions so I can align my role as an electrical engineer with my focus on sustainability. Ultimately, my goal is to become a certified solar designer and accredited lead associate in order to fulfill the requirements of any project, as well as invest myself in renewable energy.
That's great to hear. It looks like you have already worked out your professional development plan. So, for recent graduates, what advice would you give them to help shape their career trajectory?
My advice is to keep on asking questions to everyone, because by asking others questions and continuously, you allow yourself to stay curious and get answers from multiple people. Having a mentor can guide you throughout your journey, but depending on them would be at the expense of limiting yourself to only one mindset rather than plenty, which is needed to gain new perspectives.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nan, and thanks to our speakers today. To our audience, thanks for listening all the way through. Please leave us a comment if today's episode has sparked your interest, and don't forget to join us in 2 weeks for a new talk.